Good morning, my dear children. Hope you all are doing fine. I, Gitika, your English teacher, is again with you with a new topic of grammar. The topic is the pronoun. You all have been learning about this topic since your junior classes, and today we'll be learning about pronoun and its types in detail. So, children, stay focused and listen all the things very carefully. So, children, now read the following sentences that I have written for you. Sam is a good boy. Sam is very intelligent. Sam is hardworking. This house is of Sam. Now you can see I have used Sam for 4 times. So, can we avoid this repetition of Sam? Yes, children. In order to avoid the repetition of Sam, we can rewrite the sentences in a different way. Now let us see how we can write. So children, to avoid repetition of Sam, I have used he. In second sentence, he is very intelligent, he is hardworking, and this house is his. So we have used pronoun to avoid repetition. Now the definition of pronoun is quite clear to you. A pronoun is a word used instead of a noun or in place of a noun. Hari is absent because Hari is ill. It is better to avoid repetition of Hari. We can say Hari is absent because he is ill. Okay, children. Children, these are kinds of pronouns. Personal pronoun, possessive pronoun, reflexive, emphatic, demonstrative pronoun, indefinite pronoun, relative pronoun, and interrogative pronouns. So we will be learning about all these pronouns in detail. Now let us discuss about the very first type, personal pronouns. As it is clear by its names, it is going to talk about persons, but not only about person, it is going to talk about things and animals as well. We have divided personal pronouns into 3 persons: first person, second person, and third persons. Children, according to its use in a sentence, we have divided into 2 cases: subject pronouns and object pronouns. We cannot interchange all these pronouns. So, the pronouns that we use at the place of subject are called subject pronouns, and the pronouns that we use at the place of object in a sentence are called objective or object pronouns. So, children, I cannot say my father gifted a pen to I. No, I is subjective pronoun. So rather using I can use me. I can replace I with me. So me is objective pronoun. So children, you can see the table given here. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. These are subjective pronoun or nominative pronoun as well. We call them nominative pronoun as well. And after that, objective pronouns: me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. Okay, children. Second type, demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are used to point out the objects which they refer to. They are 4 in number: this, that, these, and those. Okay, while this and these refer to objects which are near, that and those refer to things at distance in time and space. Okay, children, this is my book, that is your book. So, bachcho, one more thing I want to make you understand, that this, that, these, those are used as adjective also, but when we are going to call them adjectives, when they are used with noun: this house, that house, these books, those books. Whenever this, that, these, those are used with noun, they are termed, they are called as demonstrative adjectives. So children, you must be aware about this. So you are going to take care of this, that whenever you are going to identify, so you must be knowing that this, that, these, those should be given with verb. Then they are working as demonstrative adjective. Okay, children. Now let us move towards another type. Well, children, an interrogative pronoun is used to ask questions. Some interrogative pronouns are who, what, whom, which, whose, etc. Who, whose and whom are used when referring to person. Who teaches you mathematics? Which is used when we refer to objects and person. Which is your book? Which of you will do this work? What is used when we refer to objects, profession and idea? What is your father's profession? What is this statue made of? What are you doing? More examples. Who is there? So who is interrogative pronoun here. What do you want? What is again interrogative pronoun, and which are your books? So which is again interrogative pronouns. So next is relative pronoun. Children, relative pronouns are the pronouns that are used to relate some nouns which are used previously in sentences. The runner who won the race was trained hard. So with the help of who, I'm talking about the runner. So a relative pronoun is one which is used to refer to nouns mentioned previously, whether they are people, place, thing, animals or ideas. Relative pronoun can be used to join two sentences. So children, who, whom, that, which, whoever, whomever, whichever, etc. are the example of relative pronouns. So do not consider these pronouns as interrogative pronoun. Okay children, now let us see few more examples. This is the place where we met. You can choose one person, whomever you like. He who hesitates is lost. So with the help of where, whomever and who, these are the example of relative pronoun children. Okay. So children, please do not get confused between relative pronoun and interrogative pronoun because they look similar but work differently. It is used to connect. Relative pronoun are used to connect clause or phrase to a noun or pronoun. And interrogative pronoun is used to ask a question. So how you can identify relative pronoun? They are generally used in the middle of the sentences. Okay, like the runner who won the race was trained hard. So we have used who in the middle of the sentence. So children, you can identify in this way also. So children, indefinite pronouns. Sometimes what happens, the pronouns used in a sentence do not refer to any particular thing or person. They are used in a general way. If I say someone is knocking at the door, someone is knocking at the door. So here I am not sure who is knocking at the door. So I am talking about in a general way. Someone is knocking at the door. So identity is not sure who is knocking at the door. So such kind of pronouns are called indefinite pronoun. Examples: all, anyone, anybody, everyone, everybody, everything, someone, somebody, something, no one, nobody, nothing, some, none, etc. So these are example of indefinite pronoun when we talk in a general way. So children, this topic is very important. You people commit so many mistakes while identifying possessive adjective or pronoun. So children, a possessive pronoun shows ownership or possession. With the help of these pronouns, we can show ownership. This pen is mine. If I say this is my pen, तो क्या ये जो my है, it is also pronoun? No children, this is not example of pronoun. This is possessive adjective. So here two lists are given to you in which you have possessive adjective and possessive pronoun as well. So see the first one, my, your, his, her, its, our, your and their. These are possessive adjective and they are always used with noun. Okay, because adjectives describes, modifies noun, so they are always used with noun. His car, her car, your pen, my pen, their house, Okay, children. So these are called possessive adjective. Now see the second table. Possessive pronoun. Mine, yours, his, hers, ours, yours and theirs. So children, please observe minutely that these words, mine, yours, his, hers, ours, yours, theirs, after that I have not used any noun. No noun is used after these possessive pronouns. So children, very simply you can identify if noun is given, it is adjective. Okay, if it is not given, it means it is possessive pronoun. So I think things are clear about possessive pronoun and adjective. So children, here is a list of reflexive pronoun given to you. Children, I, myself, you, yourself, he, himself, she, herself, it, itself, we, ourselves, you, yourselves, they, themselves. So these pronouns can be used as reflexive pronouns as well as emphasizing pronouns. Now let us see how we can use them as reflexive and emphasizing pronouns. So children, reflexive pronoun, when the action of the subject reflects upon the doer of the sentence, then it is called reflexive pronoun. I hurt myself. He blamed himself for the fault. Okay, so whenever the action performed by the subject acts upon subject itself, it is called reflexive pronoun. So the subject and the object in the sentence is same. Okay, so let us, so children, I hurt myself. I hurt him here. I hurt myself. So the action of the subject reflects upon the doer. And who is doer? I. I hurt myself. He hurt himself. He blamed himself. They hurt themselves. So here in these sentences, the action reflects upon the doer only. So this is called reflexive pronoun. So children, now emphatic pronoun. An emphatic pronoun are used to just emphasize the action of the subject. Okay, he himself cut the cake. He himself cut the cake. If I say he cut the cake, so there is no difference between the core meaning of the two sentences. है ना, मीनिंग इज सेम. ही कट द केक. ही, उसने खुद केक काटा, उसने केक काटा. देयर इज नो बिग डिफरेंस. सो हियर in emphatic or emphasizing pronoun, we simply use these words to emphasize over the subject only. He himself cut the cake. So again, see difference between reflexive pronoun and emphatic pronoun. They look similar but they act differently. They are used. Reflexive pronoun are used as object of the verb when the action of the verb returns to the doer. Means action reflects upon the doer. The subject and the object of the sentence are the same person. I hurt myself. Now in emphatic pronoun बच्चों, they are used to emphasize noun or pronoun, means subject of the sentence only. She herself opened the door or she opened the door. No big difference. उसने खुद गेट खोला, उसने गेट खोला. No big difference. Okay children, so this is the difference between reflexive and emphatic pronoun. When you are going to read the sentence now, then you will be able to understand and you can identify between these two pronouns. So children, we have discussed kinds of pronouns in detail. Hope things are clear to you and you will be able to solve the exercise given in your grammar book. So children, please try to solve the exercise given in your book. Thank you. Have a nice day.